Hi everyone, Bandanner here and welcome back to WARNO League Season 0.5. Now, as you may or may not know, there are several different divisions. There's Division 1, which I've covered a lot of games from. They're well-known players who are at the top of the rank ladder. You'll have seen them in a lot of tournaments so far. They're pretty well-known. Then we've got Division 2, which are some well-known players like Stahl and De Gardner, who we saw yesterday. Today, I'm putting a spotlight on Division 3, which are the newer players to ranked, maybe those who don't have as much experience as the big players that we know more frequently. So today we've got Propaganda and Ottdog for a couple of games. Again, these guys won't be as experienced, perhaps, as, you know, the likes of Lathans and T-Man. So please be nice in the comments, because obviously they will look at those, so don't be rude. But let's see how they play on Black Forest. This is the new Black Forest Duel. Ottdog is over on the right in blue, playing as the 5th Panzer Division. And over on the left in red, we have Propaganda playing as the 79th. So, 2 tank divisions. Now, not great technically in Charlie, because that's very built up. But out here in the open, around Alpha, Bravo and Foxtrot, tank divisions do very well. You have that room to maneuver. It's quite an open territory, so you can position things to get shots in on the buildings as well. So tank divisions actually do surprisingly well on this map, even though a lot of it is forest. Let's have a look at what Ottdog has down first. So we've got some Alpha Clara heading over to this side in a helicopter. We've got an Alouette heading into Charlie. Down here we've got an Alouette, a Lux and another Alpha Clara, all sort of heading up to this area in the middle. Nothing right to that side at the moment. Back here we've got a mix of units, so we've got some Panzer Grenadiers and 4 Panzer Grenadiers and a Lux. 2 Panzer Grenadiers here, 2 Panzer Grenadiers in Charlie. We've got a Gepard gone down over here without a position yet. Obviously, these guys will be a little bit slower than some of the more experienced players at deploying. Got a Leo 203 and a Gepard here. I wonder if these could be going to Foxtrot. There's definitely a possibility there. Let's check in with Propaganda and see what he's got down. So, Spetsnaz heading up to near Foxtrot. Not going too far forward, though. We've got a BRM-1 heading up that way, too. At this side, we've got some Conkers, some Supply, a couple of Cubs, a T-80 BVK, and a couple of Motostrelki and BMP-2s. Definitely taking Foxtrot. Definitely taking Foxtrot at the start. Over this way, we have another Spetsnaz Gru heading into Alpha. We've got a Motrazvedka and a BMP-1 heading up this way. And then at the back here, we have an Igla, Conkers, and a couple more Motostrelki Metis this time, heading into Alpha. Obviously, Metis, good for defending, especially across this sort of open terrain here, because of their additional range. So if they're in the buildings at the edge here, obviously they're going to be able to fire reasonably far out for any vehicles that sort of come towards this line where my cursor is moving. Let's just double check in with Ottdog, because I think that was everything that was going down for Propaganda. Over here, there's a couple more things gone down. And we probably have some positioning now. So these units are heading over here towards Foxtrot, as expected. And then here we do have a few more things that have gone down. Some M48s, a Leo 105, and a couple of Lux that are all the way back here. Kind of good spread here. I would say that Ottdog's going for a very big spread across the map, whereas Propaganda is focusing down more on Foxtrot and Alpha. So the big fights, I think, are going to be over here near Foxtrot and probably between Bravo and Alpha. I think Charlie is pretty much going to belong to Ottdog in this game. Let's switch over to our controller. So Ottdog will reach here. Of course, the Spetsnaz Gru will already be in position. They do have forward deployment. We'll see most of these in good forward positions, though, for Ottdog. Propaganda's also been helping organize the tournament, so many thanks to Propaganda. He's been helping get the scores uploaded and things like that. He also helped with the Super League as well, which was very kind of him. Rear zone capped for Propaganda. What I will note is we didn't see any initial purchases of commands for Ottdog. He has now called in an M577 at the back there to take the rear point, and then probably move up to Bravo. Obviously feeling a bit more confident that he wanted more units on the ground rather than buying commands. That's not an unreasonable thing, especially on these maps, because there aren't, you know, 3-pointers and stuff, so you're not going to be losing out on a lot of points early game if you buy a command on the first purchase anyway. So nice defensive positioning here. Conker's already in place for Propaganda. Obviously they're going to be able to fire out at these tanks when they arrive. T80 PVK obviously also going to pose a threat, though the Leo 2A3 could cause it issues, and that would be a nice early kill if Ottdog can get it. I don't think there's going to be any attempt on Charlie by Propaganda at the moment, because he's really doubling down on this area of the map. So for Ottdog, at least, it is a free point at the lumber mill. This gets capped by the T80. The Cubs move up and get the kill on the Alouette. That's quite far forward for those Cubs, but they're reasonably well defended at the moment. M48 and a Leo 1A5 pushing in towards this point now. There go the missiles. Lux is immediately destroyed. Hopefully Ottdog spotted that, or he's going to be under a lot of fire straight away. Conker's going out for the supply. Gets the kill. Getting some good hits, the Conkers. Shots going out over the other side as well for the tanks. Down goes the Leo 1A5 as well. The M48 already went down over there. Some nice early kills for Propaganda. Nothing too expensive lost though. Another M48 goes down. That Conkers is getting very lucky. Hitting the mark on pretty much everything at the moment. T80 gets a Lux. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of aggression here from Propaganda. He's pushing up the T80 BVK and the BMP. BRM1 not particularly scary, but obviously good recon. Are we going to see the Leo 2A3 intercept here? Cub firing out there. I think at just at the UH1D. Leo got a shot off at the BMP2 there. Very aggressive maneuvering here from Propaganda, killing units, or trying to kill units as they're coming in. Obviously, a bit far forward for that T80 BVK. It would be a prime target for an AT jet. Obviously risky with the two Cubs there, but would obviously be a very nice kill. Leo 2A3 not quite in position to get it at the moment. Finally, the Conkers whiffing one of its missiles all over the place. Propaganda actually making it into Bravo with that command tank. Panzergrenadiers might get an easy kill here, depending on how Propaganda plays this. If he reverses the tank straight out, it won't happen, but potential for some side shots here. Leo 1F5 engaging on the BRM. There goes the T80 BVK. Nasty hit. Just needs a second one like that. Smokes the wrong way. Oh no, the Panzergrenadiers aimed at the wrong thing. They fired at the BMP-2 instead of the tank. It was still in range, I believe, though, because it smoked the wrong direction. There we go. Side shot and a kill on the T-80BVK. Exactly what Ottdog needed. Another Leo 2A3 coming in, and a second coming in even further back. Potential here for Ottdog to regain some control. Infantry being moved into Charlie, the big sawmill by the looks of it, by Propaganda over there. Currently +3 to Propaganda, though. That is a nice bonus on this map. Unfortunately, although Ottdog has control of that point, he hasn't actually capped it. I'm not sure if there's a command coming in. There is now an Iltis command heading in for that point. Nice early start on the points for Propaganda, though, at 476. Command moving into Bravo now. Alouette takes fire from an Eagler on the ground. M48 taking fire from that Conkers again. This point has changed hands. Obviously, so far, exchanges seeming to go Propaganda's way. But the loss of the command tank, obviously not ideal. There's a lot of infantry in Alpha for Propaganda, though. Over at this side, there has been a little bit of skirmishing already. Striking Meta is able to fire out at the supply trucks here. There's actually a stolen supply truck. It's a Ural. Monostocky coming in BMP-2s as reinforcements for Propaganda, I assume, going to attempt to push on Bravo here. See another Cub coming in at the back there. I think Propaganda's actually lost a Cub there. I'm not even sure how he lost that. Was he moving that up here with the supply truck? That is a distinct possibility. Let's zoom in and have a look. BMPs have arrived with those Monostrelki. Panzer Grenadiers very sensibly pulling back. Can't see a dead Cub on that road. Not sure how that died. Trying to keep an eye on what's happening over here. A unit has died. I think the M48 went down in the forest here. Obviously, M48's in a forest, risky place. A little bit concerned about the Iltis command being at this far side of the point. It's right in the line of fire of those TO-55s that will be coming in for Propaganda. There's also a Sapri commander coming in for that point, I believe. Currently we are neutralized, but Propaganda with a nice advantage right now in those points. Mortar in for Ottdog. Tank's trying to push up to do some damage here. Nice shot on a T-80BV, but that 1A5 isn't going to survive very long against the T-80BV. Side shot on the Leo 2A3 as well. That 2A3 needs to get the hell out of there. Missile is going in for it as well. And it's down. In this situation, it's often best to charge all the Leos in together, as they're very good at firing on the move. But sending them in piecemeal kind of gives the advantage to the defender in that they can just shoot the attacking tanks one at a time, rather than take multiple shots of damage. Cluster Bomber coming in here. SU-25. Looking for a kill on one of these Leos. Leo is fleeing out of the way. Leo does make it out without any damage. Unfortunately, the Unimog supply is lost. Fighter jet coming in for that cluster. Needs to veer off before it gets into the cub range. Oh, takes a nasty hit, but should get out. Seed coming in, looking for a kill on a Gepard. I'm not sure if Ottdog is turning this on and off. He is not. It is set to ready. Leo 203 command pushing up here. Smoke going down for Ottdog. I think trying to block off the T-80 BVs from being able to fire back. Infantry moving in as well here. Does need to be careful with the Leos because if they get too close to the Strelki, they will be fired on. T-80 BV able to fire back at the Leo now. Leo is already panicked, stressed out, and unfortunately is low rank. It is only trained. As we saw in the game yesterday, tanks really struggle when they are only trained. Ranking them up is so important for these engagements, as they just start missing. And obviously, regaining the cohesion is really important to get them back in the fight. Leo 203 command pushing in here. Manages to get the kill there on the BRM-1. A little bit of movement at this side. Units pushing up from Alpha towards Bravo. And at the same time as well, there's a large force moving into here for Propaganda. He will take this point. He has a lot of stuff moving in there, including an Mi-24P. Propaganda looking pretty strong in this game so far. He's just controlling the ground and able to push two locations at once. Well, Ottdog's having to focus down on this point here. Good use of smoke, though. It's blocked off the Conkers. Unfortunately, not quite blocking off the T-80 at the back there. Leo 203 taking a lot of fire. At this point, it might be worth just smoking the Leo 203 command, but it should be able to reverse out, as there's no counter command in there. Needs to be careful with these tanks here, as obviously the T-80 BVs will do a reasonable amount of damage at close range. Charlie, the lumber mill, has fallen to Propaganda. He has a lot of units there. I think Ottdog is going to try and reinforce that point. And realistically, at this point in time, with the amount of units there, I'd consider just letting Charlie fall and refocus my attention on this area of the map that we're looking at right now. But obviously, in the heat of the moment, it's not always what's going through your head. Leo 203 goes down. Command vehicle destroyed in Bravo. Leo 203 taking shots from the side here. That's the command tank being hit by... That was a Metis as well. Metis actually got the hit there. I think the Conkers are finally out of ammo. Skirmishing continuing in Bravo. Ottdog under quite a lot of pressure here. No command currently to go into this point for Propaganda though, but it is neutralized due to the loss of Charlie. There's not a lot left in Alpha for Propaganda. He's obviously moved a lot up to fight in Bravo, and he's redirected a lot of forces to Charlie as well. There's Jaeger pushing into Charlie, unfortunately getting destroyed on the way in at the top of the screen there. Both were lost. There's no way that Ottdog is going to get back into Charlie at this point in time. Seed in play and a cluster in play. Gepard is able to open fire. Will stress out the seed. FOF is in. Engaging on the 25. The 25 goes down. Fortunately, the FOF continues on. Taking fire from the Cubs. Will be lucky to get out intact. And it goes down. Unfortunately, a Leo and a Gepard were moving in to Charlie, but they have been stopped, thankfully, as they would have been on a bit of a suicide run if they'd continued on that path. Cluster coming in here, I think. Propaganda is looking for a kill on the Leo. Is likely able to see it due to the Spetsnaz crew at the far left of the screen. There go the bombs. Oh no, the Leo's going into them. Oh, I don't think that Propaganda actually knew where that tank was and dropped the bombs on the tree line there, the larger tree line. Unfortunately, Ottdog actually moved the tank into that area. I think it was just a bit of guesswork by Propaganda as to where he last saw the tank. Ottdog regained control of Bravo, has managed to chase out all of those infantry. Struggling a little bit at the right-hand side of the point though, but those buildings aren't as important. He just needs to hold the point itself and stop another command getting in. Leo, 1A5 and Gepard pushing up through forest here. Not ideal. Vehicles like that pushing through a forest, obviously at significant risk of being killed by infantry. Nothing there at the moment though, so they are okay. Command finally gets back into Foxtrot for Propaganda. Looking pretty good, as I say, for Propaganda this game. He's just got more units on the field. He's managed to exchange very well. And he's just got the map control. He was able to push 2 points at the same time as his opponent was pushing on 1. And maintained some units in one of those points as well that was being pushed. So overall, very good for Propaganda. And the point that was being attacked by Ottdog, again, Propaganda has maintained some units in there for the entirety of that. Whereas poor Ottdog did get completely pushed out of this side. And Propaganda is able to maintain a large force in there, though is pulling some units away from that now to attack Bravo. Tampella here, able to open up on the infantry. Supply, I think, being moved up to refill the ammo on that. Leo's coming in at the back here, along with some Marders and some more infantry. Obviously, at this point, ideally, Ottdog needs to retake Foxtrot if he can, while holding Bravo. The eventual aim would be to retake, or take over Alpha, I should say. He's not actually had that at any point in this game. But he needs to somehow get through all of this stuff from Propaganda. Unfortunately, that is an absolute massive BMP2 wall. And I think Ottdog may be in serious trouble here. There's a lot of firepower coming in. Good kill with the cluster bomber. Unfortunately, the cluster bomber does go down as well. But obviously, the BMP is able to just pummel the infantry in these buildings as his own infantry move in to replace them. BMP-2s also have access to missiles to engage the Leopards from range. Tornado Heichi coming in, looking for a kill on the infantry here. Might get a good kill. Taking fire from the Cubs though. Nice kill. 2 squads of Motostrelki go down, and the bomber does escape. Marder Milan able to fire out here with the tanks as well. Marders could do with deploying their Panzer Grenadiers. Unfortunately, Ottdog has lost all of infantry at the front of this point. Obviously, lots of losses on Propaganda side as well. He's lost a lot of infantry trying to push into this point. Marder Milan under a lot of fire. Needed to deploy long before it went in that far. And the Jaeger are destroyed inside the vehicle. T-80BV, IZD able to fire from the back there. Good fire support from Propaganda's side. Able to fire in from multiple positions. Needs to be careful with that IZD though, because there is a Milan sat over here on the right hand side of the screen waiting for it to get in range. And it will eventually get in range. Jet coming in. Seed. Looking for a kill on a Gepard, I believe. Yeah. Ottdog realised early on he needed to start turning that Gepard on and off. SU-25 HE bomber coming in here. Not sure what it's going for. It's going for the Lux. Oh no, he's going for the Milan. So hard to tell sometimes where the bombs are going from a distance. So Milan is down. That was really good choice of target. Gepard, unfortunately, was turned on there, I think, because it has taken some fire. Propaganda just continuing to exchange very well here. There's a lot of blue deaths. And unfortunately, has mostly completely free reign of the air. The Cubs shutting down anything Ottdog brings out. Thus, Propaganda able to operate bombers and seed without too much concern. BMPs here being charged at these tanks. Obviously doing some damage close range, especially with the missiles. Mi-24P coming in as well to engage these tanks. Unfortunately, there's no AA there except for that Gepard. Leo 203 taking fire from multiple angles now, and the T-80B gets the kill. Jaeger, unfortunately, getting fired upon as soon as they arrive at the point. Both Jaeger destroyed in their vehicles. So important when you are contesting a point like this. You deploy your troops outside the point and walk them in, as you obviously are at significant risk of having them destroyed as they go in. Propaganda remaining at +2. Has reached over 1,000 points, and there's the surrender. Commiserations, Ottdog. Well played to Propaganda, though. Good map control. Obviously, a significant difference in kills to losses. Quite obvious from what we saw on the ground there. Just very, very good positioning from Propaganda. Let's have a look at those kills and losses. TDPVK did well at the start. Did seem to get a few kills. BMP2s were doing very well in this game. Mi-24 was doing a good job. Razvedka BMP1 got quite a lot of kills. That is a surprise. Over at the other side, it was the Leo 203 that was standout there, to be honest. I would actually give MVP to the Razvedka BMP1, because that's quite a lot of kills for a BMP1. Bulba would be impressed with that. Let's hop into game number 2. Welcome back to game number 2 with Propaganda and Ottdog. Ottdog over on the right, playing in red as the 5th Panzer once more. And over on the left in blue, we have Propaganda playing as the Berlin Command. Not a division we see too often in the tournaments. Let's have a look at what Propaganda has down. PSSE-B heading up to Echo, along with some Foxes charging up to Charlie for a bit of harassment. We've got a 20mm anti-air gun heading into the buildings here, and a Mistral heading up this way there. I'll quickly pause so we can have a look at everything. Yeah, they're heading into that tree line. We have some Scouts and some PSSE-B heading into these buildings here. Going into the same building, interestingly. And the same over here. Both are deploying in the same building, it looks like. Fox heading up here. Defensively this time. No harassment there. We have another 20mm anti-air gun and an AMX-30 heading up to this part of the map. Looks like the anti-air gun is actually going to deploy in that building as well. The French anti-air guns can deploy in the buildings. In the middle we have Mistral, some Berlin Light Rifles, an AMX-30, 2 Pivads, and a Command. The Command heading to Delta, and then I think by the looks of it heading to Echo, and then over into Alpha to cap all 3. And that is your lot. So good spread for Propaganda with a little bit of harassment early on. Over here, you got Alpha Clara heading up to Alpha, getting into those buildings there. We have a Leo 105 and a Fliegerforst heading up to here. I think there's 2 Leo 105s. 1 Leo 105 going there, 1 going there, and the Fliegerforst looking to drop off at the back. In the center here, we have 2 Fliegerforsts, a Milan 2, another Jaeger Alpha Clara, and a Leo Command heading into the center there. Surprised to see the Jaeger Alpha Clara all the way at the back and not up at the front. Maybe concerned about helicopters catching him out. A couple of looks here, pushing up to defensive positions at the front of that point. We have another Fuchs Milan with a Milan 2. That's dropping off in this building here. And the 2 Leo 105s popping up to the center and just off the center there. At this far left-hand side, we have a couple of Panzer Grenadiers and an M48 heading up to defend Charlie. Let's get this show on the road. So, early fight is going to be Foxes versus Lux. Now, there was a time when I would have said I think the Luxes should come out on top here, but honestly, this could go either way. I'm not sure who wins this fight. Obviously, in the long run, the Foxes will die because surely the Leo 1A5s will deal with them rather effectively. But technically, 3 Foxes outnumber 2 Lux. But I found the Luxes to be very effective at harassment. They actually do quite a bit of damage. Both players capping their back points. No one's going to get a massive advantage at the start, I don't think. Fox is engaging now on the Lux. Oh, Lux got side shot there as it tried to reverse. And this one equally goes down very quickly to the fire from all 3 Foxes. 1 Fox taking some minimal damage. M48 being called in there, and a helicopter. Leo 1A5 surely going to make short work of these Foxes now. M48 at this side should be able to fire across as well in support. 1 goes down immediately. Leo 1A5 taking a lot of damage though from the Foxes. Another Fox goes down and the other Fox goes down. Quickly dealt with by the Leo 1A5s. Shame to lose the Lux. There's also some skirmishing happening up at the top of Alpha. You have Clara taking a lot of fire there. Leo 1A5's moving up into position to engage. Need to be careful with the Leo 1A5s, of course. They don't want to be too close to the enemy infantry. At the moment, the other side of the map looks stabilized. Currently +2 to Propaganda as he controls all the right points on the map. No command in the bottom point as yet for Ottdog. Ottdog is calling one in at the back. There is an Iltis command making its way in. AMX-30B sat in a nice defensive position here for Propaganda. Fox has pushed up slightly at the side. Unfortunately, the Leo 1A5 is actually below the hill here, so can't actually fire up at that looks. HE bomber coming in on the Leo 1A5 there. Does get its bombs off. Does quite a lot of damage. Leo will have to retreat and rearm. M1IP coming in for the center there. Fox firing side shots on the Leo. Leo is panicked. Cohesion low and down it goes. Fox in a nice position there. Gets a good kill. Unfortunately, the Leo 1A5 here of Ottdog unable to respond to that due to being down the hill. A little bit of aggression at this side from Ottdog. Pushing up on Echo. Another Leo 1A5 destroyed. Was that another Leo 1A5 destroyed there? Or was that a secondary explosion? I'm very confused. Oh, was a Leo 1A5 down here? Perhaps. AMX-30B engaging on that Leo. Leo goes down. Leo here not in a good position. Unable to fire up the hill, obviously. Panzer Grenadiers making their way into this point. Pivads make short work of the Alouette there. Yeah, Alf Clara at the top of the map have been taken out. This Propaganda makes slow progress up there. We'll have to come and respond to this down here. Helarm's in position, able to take out the M48. Unfortunately, there's no anti-air over here for Ottdog with his push, so he can't defend against the Helarms. Those helicopters have free reign at the moment. Leo 1A5 there taken out by the Helarm choppers. Unfortunately, Ottdog losing quite a few tanks here already. Really needs some anti-air at this side of the map. He's got Fleet of Force dotted around elsewhere. PSSEB here. Pretty good unit. Panzer Grenadier do manage to clear out that building. PSSEB will pull up one hell of a fight though, once the units get close enough. HE bomber coming in for those infantry. It's going to be a nice strike. The building is destroyed. Panzer Grenadier go down. Other Panzer Grenadier squad are being moved in, but they are panicked, already low cohesion. They are not going to survive against the PSSEB. PSSEB have both very strong SMGs, and they also have the fantastic satchel charge, which do a lot of damage at close range. They're a very, very devastating squad. Propaganda making some moves in the middle now. Putting the pressure on Ottdog. Rather Milan there. Trying to get a hit on the looks at the back. Doesn't manage it. Leo 1A5 gets a kill on the MX-30B at this side. That Leo desperately needs a repair though. Ottdog has moved his Leo 1A5 command out of the point there. It's currently +3 to Propaganda again. Jet coming in. I assume looking for a kill on a tank. It sounds like an A10. No, it's a Nighthawk. Similar sound. Very slow moving jet engine. Nighthawk will be looking for a kill on the command perhaps. Leo 1A3. Leo 2A3 coming in at the bottom to assist in the middle by the looks of it. Fleet of Force has arrived down here along with some Jaeger. Spin us round so we can see that Nighthawk coming in if it comes in. Leo 2A3 command being moved up to engage here. Smokes against the Milan. Obviously, Leo 203 will be a prime target for that Nighthawk. It is coming in, but will veer off again because it will have lost sight. Oh, it's going for a blind drop, I think. No, it hit it! It must have been visible to the scouts at this side. I'm not sure what could see that. It was right at the back. Possible it was visible to something out here. Just visible, perhaps. Not sure. I'm surprised that was visible to Propaganda. It seemed quite far back to get a direct hit like that. Leo 105 pushing up here. Good hit on the AMX, but unfortunately he's taking fire from a lot of units and goes down to the Fox. Fox will be pleased with itself. It's got 2 kills on the Leo 105. Leo 203 came in there, took a hit from the Milan 1. Pivad's there opening up on the Alouette. Elta's Command heading into the center to recap that and neutralize the points once more. Looks like Ottdog has resigned to a defensive positioning at the bottom of the map there. Going to try and be a bit more aggressive up here. Marder Milan's coming in with some more Panzer Grenadiers. Looks here taking fire from that building. The building does go down, but obviously the infantry is still able to fire out at the looks. Berlin light rifles being dropped off there by Propaganda as well. Leo 203 moving up. That's not ideal. It's already at half health. It's now panicked. And unfortunately, it is only trained. Does smoke itself just in time, but is stunned. Needs to get out of there. Propaganda once again exchanging well in this game, managing to kill quite a lot of tanks. Marder's arriving here. Could do with deploying outside the point there. A little bit concerned they haven't deployed immediately on arriving. Those light rifles with a recoilless rifle moving in on them. There we go. They have been deployed now. Unfortunately, the Marders are not going to do much good that close to those other units. Obviously, ideally, Marder's better off being further back, able to provide fire support from distance. Leo 203 being moved back in there. It's only got 1 bar of health and is still stressed out. Low cohesion means it won't do very much. HE Bomber coming in. Good choice. Unfortunately, Propaganda was running his infantry away, but that would have been a really nice strike had they not been moving already. Over to the other side of the map, 2A3 moving up that way for Ottdog. Is he possibly considering another attempt to push there? There are quite a lot of reinforcements in that point now for Propaganda. I think it'll be very difficult to get in there at this stage. Propaganda once again just having the map control. The front line obviously has shifted forward quite a considerable distance so far in this game, especially at the top here. Propaganda controlling pretty much up to the edge of this hill zone here, along to the central point. Jaeger coming in here. Possibly looking to try and clear out some of those Berlin light rifles. Jaeger again driving very deep into the forest before they deploy. Alouette coming in again at this side. Oh, M48 just charging up the road there. Goes straight into the Fox, which deals with it very quickly. That Fox is just cleaning up at this side of the map. Unfortunately, I believe this game has been over for a little while. It's going to be very difficult for Ottdog to retake ground at this point. He's lost a lot of tanks, and he's lost some 2A3s as well, which obviously is less than ideal. Losing those big tanks. One of his advantages against Propaganda is obviously the ability to field quite a lot of tanks. But at the same time, Propaganda does have access to plenty of reasonable tanks. M1IP Abrams pushing in at this side. And Chieftain Mark 10 being called in. Abrams Command will likely be making a move on that bottom point there. I do think Propaganda is going to make a push. The Fox has finally been killed at the other side of the map. Jaeger there under fire already by the ACAV in the middle. Have a little look at what's happening here. Fortunately, those Jaeger going into a lot of fire. It's going to be very hard to dislodge all of these infantry now. Would be easier perhaps to be pushing this side. Of course, poor Ottdog doesn't know that. We have the beauty of being able to see all the units on the map. There's a lot less at this side for Propaganda. Bomber going in over here. Manages to hit and rout the M48. Jaeger here engaging on the infantry. Command tank rolling in there. Jaeger did attempt to get a hit, but missed. Another shot going out, only on the front armor, minimal damage. Kivad's also being used as fire support. PSSEB are going to cause a lot of issues once they get in there. Abrams taking minimal damage, has smoked itself off. Good fire support from the Lux there. No movement from any of the other vehicles at this side, unfortunately. Could really use fire support from the Leo 1A5 over there. At the top left of the screen. M1IP is rolling into the point, which will completely change hands. You have Clara at the back here, moving in for Ottdog now. HE Bomber coming in. Veers off at the last second, doesn't drop its bombs. Harrier coming in at the top there, not sure what he's going for. FOF coming in for the Harrier though. Harrier likely to go down. HE Bomber coming in up there as well though. Looks down here, able to put down quite a bit of fire on these units, but unfortunately not enough on its own. The Leo 1A5 here finally making a move as well, and the M48 moving back in. Lux unfortunately goes down. Let's put up a good fight though. Chieftain is moving up as well now. Chance here, the Jaeger of Clara could kill that command tank. But Ottdog obviously needs to contest this point. He could bring the Iltis command back across. Tornado IDS HE bomber coming in at the top there, looking for a kill on those infantry, I think, at the far side of Alpha. Good chance of getting some kills this time. Nice bombing run. Lots of damage done. This side still uncontested with a +7 for Propaganda. 1 minute till the victory. But very well played by Propaganda again. Good positioning on his forces. Unfortunately, Ottdog not quite there with his tank positioning on this occasion. A couple of them just out of reach of hitting enemy units down below hills and things. But it's all a learning experience watching these games back as you're new to the tournament and new to the game. And it's one of the fastest ways to learn is getting involved in the tournaments. The community is very friendly. And many of the top players, you know, if you're willing to learn and serious about it, they will happily sit down and talk to you about your games and give you advice. But Propaganda takes both these games, but well played to both players. I think again there'll be a little bit of a difference in kills to losses due to the loss of the tanks there. Yeah, just over double. Let's have a look at the screen to see who did well. PSSEB were doing a good job. Nothing too stand out at the other side. Even the Leo 2A3s were struggling in that one, unfortunately. The Berlin Light Rifles did a good job. I think MVP goes to them this game. But well played, guys. Thank you everyone for joining me. Please do like, share and subscribe. And remember to show some support to the Division 2 and Division 3 players. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all soon.